on his left, Jess on his right. Hey, hold up, don't start a fight. He's got you covered with all the sports. Don't fret, he's wearing shorts. It's time for Wake and Jake in the morning, Wake and Jake at night. Jake sucks.
Good morning, Bakers, and a happy opening day. One of those Merry Christmas things. Yeah, happy opening day to all of those that celebrate, which darn tootin', I know is a lot of people in this chat right now. Excited to be spending opening day with you, BBD. We will be live streaming later today. Around 2, first game's at 2:20, so we're going to be live for that. Cubs Brewers, Ian Happ's Cubs versus Trevor Plouffe's Brewers.
Yeah.
If anyone watched the prediction last night, we'll be covering that. Exciting. We're obviously, hey, you have to lay it all out there. We're a little bummed out. Yankees opening day got moved. It was supposed to be the first game, the 1 p.m. Yankees Sox, Cole Evaldi. It was the last two starting pitchers Yankee fans saw last year for the Yanks and against the Red Sox. And yeah, it's just opening day. It's this thing you wait like 6 months for to come back and then just have it delayed a day. It's like,
Building the off day for a reason.
It's true. That's true. Would be a weird opening day doubleheader. But that's not happening. So,
selfishly, I'm fine with it.
Wow.
Watch at home tomorrow.
That's not bad. Cubs Brewers will lead into, I think Cardinals are playing the Pirates.
Yeah, there's a
home run.
slate of games at 4.
Yeah, there's a slate of games at 4.
Mets was pushed back, but there's still 3 others.
And Guardians Royals. So we're going to enjoy opening day. And you guys are welcome to do it with us. For now, Bakers, let's talk some baseball. Let's do some just big picture season stuff. You can't even really talk about the Masters. Like we did some of that last week. We got a bunch of people that signed up in the pool. Somebody's going to win. Have to, right? But yeah, there's not really too much to dive into right now. Masters, they just teed off. Tiger's playing. I don't think that was fully confirmed. I still don't think it's fully confirmed. Let's Google Tiger playing. Oh, God. If you Google Tiger playing, you get a bunch of pictures of the animal in the zoo playing with a ball. Wrestling its tiger sibling. But yeah, Tiger intends to play. I guess there's still a chance he could until he tees off. He's not. But
I think Tuesday, I think I saw he was supposed to do one last practice tune-up or whatever.
Yeah, so. There's an article on golf.com. NewYorkTimes.com an hour ago says Tiger Woods intends to play. So everyone's just a little nervous. But man, Tiger Woods didn't go to Augusta to test out his leg. This guy's nuts. He's MJ. Like he's the athletes we look at that way. He's wired that way. He thinks he's gonna win the Masters. Don't know if he can. Bad guy to bet against normally. I think the bigger thing, and my golf buddies were saying, like, even if he's good, which I think he might be, like, is Tiger Woods. Everyone says his short game's incredible right now because that's all he could do for a little bit. Makes sense. I could do the math on that. The one thing that my buddies were saying, like, a 4-day golf tournament does wear on you. You walk the whole thing. No golf cart. And, like, banged up leg, he hasn't been doing that. So I don't know. Let's hope Tiger's in it because that would be a lot of fun come Sunday. If we could have a fun sports Sunday, Masters, Yankees, Red Sox at night, series ending.
Nice balance to the day.
You know? Everyone likes when a 30 for 30 comes together. And anytime there's a Sunday at Augusta, that gives it a chance. Let's talk baseball because there's really no other sports. I looked at the NBA headlines. Nothing there for me. UFC to implement fan-voted bonuses in Bitcoin. So we're definitely not going to talk about that. Let's talk about the baseball. As I was coming into work today, I was like, you know what? It's opening day. Trevor Plouffe and his damn predictions last year made everyone look stupid besides himself. I was like, I got to get my tweet out there with some info. Because, I mean, even if half of it's wrong, which, again, isn't great, but, you know, some of the chalk is going to happen. The Dodgers are going to be in the playoffs this year. Like,
pretty reliably say
like
Astros will be in there.
Like, you know, there's some things in sports that are guaranteed. Every now and then things fall apart, and it's just where does it fall apart? And so I thought it was a 7-team playoff this year. It's still 6. Unless they change it like right before first pitch, which they did during the COVID season, right?
Yeah, I get confused on the verbiage we use on stuff because, like, I think it's 12 teams now.
It's 12 now. Yes.
That was
MLB wanted 14. We're at 12, but it's 3-3. The 3 division winners, 3 wild card. Okay. I Googled that because I was like, I thought it was 7. In my head, I had the number 7, but that was because of all the negotiating. Maybe that's how they get you. A little brainwash.
Yeah, we're just used to it now.
Scary stuff. And, you know, I guess the other side of that is, like, I mentioned the Dodgers, and last year they didn't win the division. The Giants went nuts and won 107 games. So that's where, like,
baseball happens.
Baseball happens. I can confidently tell you the Dodgers will make the playoffs. You know, there's one team that I probably think I could confidently tell you that won't. Like, I really like the Braves this year, like, for a World Series team to fall apart the next season in a really tough division. That's not nearly insane.
Yeah.
I mean, the Braves are now starting their season with the Ronald Acuna, Freddie Freeman IG Live fight?
I guess so.
Or was it an interview?
I think, yeah. Just Ronnie talking, I think.
I don't know if I can talk about
half interviewed.
IG Live after what I did last night.
Learned things.
Brewers, they actually seem pretty chalky when you look at the division, but that's why I like the Cardinals too. I think those teams stand out.
Brewers are a high floor team.
I mean, Blue Jays, everything on paper is fine. The team hasn't been to the playoffs since, like, the Joey Bats Blue Jays, I think.
Yeah, unless
maybe
that
like the
next
COVID year. Let me see. Toronto Blue Jays.
There. That rings a bell.
Blue Jays, they were in the 2020 COVID playoffs. They lost to the Rays. A 2-0 series. So that opening round.
Yeah. They made the expanded. So they were the 8 seed.
They were 32-28. Hey, good job, 2020 Blue Jays. They didn't make the playoffs last year, and yeah, before that, it's 2016. Their best player that year, via WAR, Josh Donaldson. Baseball moves quick. Number 3 in WAR, J-Hat. Number 2 is Aaron Sanchez. So, baseball, I can almost say confidently, there is 1,000% nobody from the 26 Blue Jays that is still on the Blue Jays. I can...
Don't believe so. Unless
Brett Cecil's still in the org. There's some names on this team, actually. But not guys that are still on the team. So, like the Blue Jays... Blue Jays haven't proven it yet. I like the Blue Jays this year. I think they're crazy talented. It all makes sense. But baseball makes sense until it doesn't make sense.
They're, there's just an element of baseball happening. It's like, even though it feels like the sport that's the least likely, it's just like the first year of a group.
And I guess
need to build it up.
That's part of the reason. It's part of the reason that I've been drinking Angels Kool-Aid is that there's only sports happen every year and stuff changes, and there's only so many teams each year that can actually be a part of that change. That might have been a really smart or a really dumb sentence, but let me try to explain. The Baltimore Orioles, there's no chance they can be good this year.
They're one of the no shot. There's no everything coming together for that group that results in
if they did somehow, it'd be like the most famous baseball story ever.
It's they let Adley run it out, 4 other dudes come out of nowhere.
4 dudes on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Pitching and hit. It's genuinely not happening. It can't. It can't. So, Rays, Yankees, Red Sox, Jays, I think we all kind of know the story there. There's a chance all 4 make the playoffs. Probably 3 with whatever team has injuries or just a bad year not making the playoffs. And then if baseball gets really funky, it could just be 2. But there's going to be 2 teams from the AL East that do it. Makes sense. The AL Central, the Chicago White Sox are the most talented team in the AL. They're going to be in the playoffs. You could give this a Dodger-esque circle. Hey, if Detroit or Minnesota or one of these teams has a San Francisco Giant type season, that's the beauty of baseball. The Guardians, the Twins, the Tigers, if one of them ends up in the playoffs, nobody's like, what? They are part of the variance. So if you believe in one of those teams more than the other, one of those teams has a really good chance to get to the party this year, whatever that looks like, whether it's serious, whether they sneak in. Do you believe in some of the Tigers' young pitchers? Do you like what they did with their lineup? Who is Spencer Torkelson? Guy was the number 1 pick in the draft. Is he going to hit 30 homers this year? Or is he going to hit 11? We don't know. The Guardians can pitch, which means they've got a chance. They just locked up their superstar. They are part of the variance of this MLB season. I'm not buying only because I think those teams are in the same pot. I guess if gun to my head, I would tell you the Tigers are the best team. Right?
Yeah. The part about the Tigers that trips me up a little bit is one, they're relying on some rookies and stuff this year that's just you just never know if you don't know they're going to be good till they're good.
Are you Tatis or are you Kelnick?
Yeah. Even Vlad, he wasn't a standout player until last year.
Yeah.
His numbers are pretty good before that, which is all I guess that's all they're asking for from Torkelson and Riley Green when he's back, but it's baseball. It takes time to learn. But the other part that's tripping me up with them is back 2/3 of the year, they were above 500.
Right.
It's they were shockingly decent. And they
added a lot.
They added some guaranteed MLB.
Erod, Javi Baez.
Yeah.
Bringing up Torkelson.
A lot depends on guys, I guess, matching expectations, but
right. And man, at the same time, I guess what's nuts is talent. The Detroit Tigers are a pretty balanced baseball team. They've got some offense. They made the Austin Meadows trade, Austin Meadows, Javi Baez. There's guys on that side of the ball. Akil Baddoo, we'll see what he's about. Scope is consistently Jonathan Scope. The offense is okay, pending your Torkelsons and what happens there. The Minnesota Twins on paper, they have the most talent. It's just on one side of the ball. Like Sano, Polanco, Arias, Correa, Kirilloff, Buxton, Kepler, Gary Sanchez. Right now it lists Gio Urshela as a bench option for them. Well, that's ESPN, actually.
I've got him roster resources as the starter.
I'm not going to read into that. Why am I on ESPN right now? That's really weird. Oh, because I was looking at the other. Headlines. I was looking at the other headlines, and I saw that that UFC fan Bitcoin one. The Minnesota Twins have the second most talent in the AL Central. It's just on one side of the ball, and it's not the side of the ball you'd prefer to have loaded up.
It's not the side of the ball that, like, talent can. I don't want to say talent can coast, but like, if you have a base level, you're
well.
good.
You just if you run up, this really
That
good
side can
Twins
carry
lineup. If they run into the right pitcher and the right bullpen on a good day, scoring 2-3 runs is a win. Like a really good starting pitcher and then a back end of a bullpen. Like on a good day, if you push off that many runs and you're starting pitching and your bullpen now because you just traded one of your better bullpen pieces, you give up 4 or 5 pretty easily. It's just how it goes. So I don't know. I mean, can Joe Ryan, the young pitcher, make the jump for them? Sonny Gray is really good. He deserves some respect. They just traded for Chris Paddock. They took a flyer on what's our Chris Archer. They took a flyer on Chris Archer. Maeda's hurt. He kind of carried their pitching staff when he was healthy. So I don't really know what you do with that.
Your guy Duran.
Yeah, throwing smoke. I don't know. Those are some of the teams that are a variable. I just think in that division there's so little variable. In the AL West, and this is kind of what I was getting to, long-windedly, about my Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. The Astros are the Astros. And here's what I'll say. I don't think they have a massive potential to go. I don't think they can go up. That being said, that's not shots fired. They've been the king of the division. They've run that division for a while now. Those Oakland teams for a couple years were pesky, but never really scared them.
You could have seen any given year, they could have finished above them.
Yeah, like they were fighting Matt Olson, Matt Chapman, Laureano, the pitching staff.
Yeah.
They went 5 deep.
The Astros weren't, at the end of the day, we weren't going anywhere.
The Astros were the Astros. They're the Dodgers from last year. Even if they got usurped, new favorite word, they still would have been a wild card team. And they still have a lot of that talent. Also, some of that talent is gone, and there are some variables. Like the Astros' ceiling is their ceiling, which is really good. It's where they've been, like one of the best teams in baseball. They do have risks to go down. Correa left. He was a massive part of that team. Platinum gold glove.
He has both.
He has both. I think he'd prefer the platinum glove at the most important position to get that, basically. Here are your catcher arguments, whatever. Also a really good hitter. Like, what's it look like? I know they're going to play a young kid at short. Pena, is that our guy?
Supposed to be good. Like, he's pretty legitimately my pick for Rookie of the Year, but rookies.
A rookie. I mean, he could also be hitting 150 after April. Like, it's...
There's an element of how much are they relying on him, I guess, but...
Right, like he's going to be asked to field. I mean, he is, kid's a legitimate prospect, so, he could be back doing Correa things, and now this team's just that's what I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, if that kid's good, if Justin Verlander is Justin Verlander, like Zach Greinke's gone. There's been some pieces that have moved around. George Springer left, last year. Verlander, we'll see. I won't bet against him.
If there's a guy you would pick to be fine the first year back from TJ,
he's not a
pretty
bad
high
pick
on the list.
But you know, their ceiling is their ceiling, which is a really awesome ceiling to have, like 100-win baseball team. That's pretty nasty. But there is some wiggle. I'll say that.
They're more vulnerable than they've been.
Yuli Gurriel
lose one of
turns
your best
38
players.
this year. Won the batting title last year. What's up with that guy? He's been like their 7-hitter for years. And with that being said around them, what'd you giggle about?
Just been their 7-hitter for years.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Just a bonus piece there.
Yuli Gurriel, dude, if you asked your, like, a baseball fan, like someone that listens to Talking Baseball, and you're like, name the hitters of the Astros dynasty.
Yeah, if you told them to name 4.
Go Altuve, Correa, Bregman, Springer, and Brantley.
Brantley's probably before.
If we count this part of it, you'd say Yordan Alvarez.
I think people are remembering Yordan. They probably don't realize he was on 17. But
Kyle Tucker, arguably, like, becoming like the best of that crew. And then is it Yuli?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Yuli potentially had the best individual season. I'd be curious of the power numbers and stuff. But
so I guess that's where again,
Altuve MVP here.
The Astros ceiling is really good.
Hard to see how they expand on that.
Like Bregman's had a couple funky years. Could that get better? Yeah, sure. You know, you can do that for guys. Like Kyle Tucker had his first breakout. Is that capped or is there more? Or is that back down?
Before we move on to another team, I'm enjoying looking at their roster resource page. You see like the original signing info, which always kind of sucks me in because it's colored. Just all Astros. Just all homegrown guys, even the ones who aren't. And Brantley's the outlier, but Yordan like debuted with them. They traded for him as a prospect. Maldonado's just been there forever.
Yeah.
That's just like, that is cool.
Did Maldonado leave for half a season and come back, or was that Chirinos?
They've had like him, Casher, and Chirinos have all, I think, done some leaving and coming back. Like they've had the same 3 catchers, but
God,
that's healthy.
That's healthy. Before I talk, this segment has somehow been about the Angels, and I just keep talking about every other team, which is starting to worry me. BBD mentioned Athletic, and guys, Athletic Greens, AG1. Athletic Greens, reach out. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is Wake and Jake. This is me. This is me and Beebs here. I'm trying to tighten it up. I can't keep covering up with a goatee. So, Athletic Greens, if you're the person, you're looking for more energy, a better immune system, you want to healthier, like feel better. Athletic Greens is for you. 1 scoop of AG1, and you're getting 75. Oh my God. High quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source, superfoods, and probiotics to start your day right. God, doesn't that sound great? I'm getting into it for baseball season. I'm getting back in the gym. Haven't seen Trevor Plouffe there. A little AG1. Contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals. Ugh. Artificial anything while still tasting good, and it costs you less than $3 a day. You're investing in your health. It's cheaper than your cold brew habit. Hey, I also want to give a shout-out. Justin Pennick, Talking Giants, has lost a ton of weight. He looks incredible. Go tweet at him. I don't want to get on his level. I would maybe 4th of July, someone does like a side-by-side of Blitzball Jake and June Jake, and they're like, whoa, he's hot now. Anyways, to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Jake. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/Jake. to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Wow. Free 1-year supply. Athletic Greens, thank you guys. Guys, let's get healthy this year. Let's be healthy. Thanks, Athletic Greens. So, my Angels. Variance. In the AL. I'm going to talk about another team. Texas Rangers made huge moves. Can they be part of the variance? Boy, does that pitching scare you. I mean, I love Taylor Hearn. He was in my live stream. IG last night. I love him. One of the nicer guys you'll meet, a lefty that can pump it. I do think he can have a really good baseball season. That pitching staff, man, when we did the TPP, I don't think there's anyone in their bullpen that's expected to have an ERA that starts with a 3. Same with the rotation. If you can't pitch day in, day out in this game, it makes it so tough. So tough. Their lineup can be sneaky fun. I don't think the Texas Rangers can be a part of the variable this year. Just going to be honest with you. They got better, though. They got better. The Seattle Mariners. So, the Oakland A's can't be a part of the equation this year. They traded all their good players. That's such a bad strategy to win. It comes down to, for me, the Seattle Mariners and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. The Seattle Mariners, good energy last year. I think they were off everyone's radar. They're now on it. And in an awesome way, they got Jesse Winker. They got Robbie Ray. Their bullpen has a couple really nice pieces. They've got some depth. Right now it's got Toro up the bench. J.P. Crawford hitting last. He was leading off for them last year. From 2 through 7, this team's projected to have 20 homers a pop. 2 of those are young guys, Kelnick and J-Rod. Julio Rodriguez, the super prospect, he's getting the call this year. Eugenio Suarez is in the lineup. He was the cash dump. And remember, the Cincinnati Reds were so down on Eugenio Suarez that they dumped Jesse Winker, one of the best hitter in the games, onto Seattle. If he's still got some juice left, I mean, shame on the Reds. Shame on the Reds. But, think about some of the variables we just touched upon there. Jesse Winker's first time switching leagues. And Suarez, no idea. J-Rod and Kelnick. A 2-WAR year from both of those guys would be pretty good. Does one of them have a 5 in the tank? I don't know. I mean, these are guys that are supposed to be special future parts of the game. And the pitching is good. Robbie Ray won the Cy Young last year. It was one of the more surprise things. I'm talking about variables of baseball. Robbie Ray winning the Cy Young last year, that was a variable of baseball. He signed what, 1 year, $8 million last year?
Before last year.
1.8?
Yeah.
He won the Cy Young. That guy. That's a variable of baseball. What's he going to be this year? I think he's got a chance to keep it rolling. It's the thing that opened up Robbie Ray to Trev's eyes. For a starting pitcher, he strikes out the most hitters per any starting pitcher to ever play this game with over 1,000 innings pitched. Any pitcher, think of any pitcher some of the greatest strikeout starting pitchers you've watched. Randy Johnson, Roger Clemens. Make it more modern, Cole. He strikes out more hitters than any starting pitcher that's ever played this game. I do think that's going to change in future years as it becomes more strikeouts. Robbie Ray's struck out a lot of hitters. The control was always a problem. If he's over the plate now, which, hey, he's an older guy. He's like a veteran. Doesn't that make sense? Why is Randy Johnson not the leader and he is? Because it took Randy a while to figure it out. Now, a lot of body parts, big guy, big unit. Most sexual nickname ever. And we just we just add it to our society. The big unit. Him and Magic Johnson? People, wake up. And let's be honest, I like some of these guys. Logan Gilbert, I call him Baby Glass now. What does that mean? Took a couple years for Glass now to, like, click? Has he still had one, like, massive monster season? Like, not fully, but yes. Like, Glass now is really good.
Felt on his way there last year.
But also to put it together for a full baseball season is really hard. Between injuries and, you know, losing it for a start or two or whatever it is. The Mariners and the Angels are kind of the biggest part of the baseball chaos equation for me. And I've now said it a lot of times, but I'm just going to believe in the how good is your good. And Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout, Jared Walsh, Anthony Rendon. Those four, if they can average 140 games, they should be like the best four in baseball. The top two guys are arguably the best two players in baseball. Like, I kind of need to believe in something. And maybe Syndergaard clicks. Ohtani both ways. Talk about variable. This team wasn't great last year, and Ohtani had a season we've never seen happen on a baseball field. So what if he's out? Like, my Angels stuff kind of goes to shit instantly. That's sports. That's baseball. Sandoval, Ohtani, Sandoval, Syndergaard. Talk about variable of baseball. Suarez, Lorenzen, and the Rook, Reed Detmers. Little six-man to start. Their bullpen is a little more fun, and that's why. That's why. I believe in top-end talent. I believe in variable in sports, especially variable in baseball. So that's why I drank some Angels Kool-Aid. What's BBD? We've talked a lot of baseball. Is there do you have like a dark horse AL team that whenever we're talking you're like the Tigers, like they're the one that you click, or the Twins lineup is gross, or
I mean, I've ingrained myself to the Twins a bit, but I really don't believe in that. Just like overall pitching, especially now that Rogers
pitching's
isn't there.
brutal.
It's just brutal. You need that.
Bad.
I don't know, like AL, the East is gonna get weird, and I just don't know how it's gonna shake out.
Right.
And I feel like on the whole, we have our biases and stuff, but I can't help but feel like we just aren't talking about the Red Sox nearly enough.
Okay.
Every time we bring them up, like, yeah, they were in the ALCS last year.
Right.
It's like they were in the ALCS last year.
Right.
They have an identity. Most of the guys are back.
Added Story.
They add a much more motivated Trevor Story.
Added Story.
She's got the big contract coming off like a down Trevor Story year. He's going to play the position where whatever he had the weird arm stuff. That's not going to be a factor at second base.
Right. Marcus Semien went from shortstop to second base and won a Gold Glove last year.
He does a lot for a team. There's an element of they could use arms too, but they're a team that's been willing to go make a move.
Yeah.
Like you're telling me to take all Yankees thoughts out of it. They'd probably be my I would probably promise they're in the playoffs somehow.
Get tarred and feathered. It's the pitching. It's the pitching. But it's close with them. It's why Red Sox Magic is a thing. Like Fenway Park is a thing. Like you can have a 5-run inning pretty quickly in Fenway. Hit a couple hard balls. Something gets over the monster. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, here's what I'll say. Cora is widely regarded as one of the best managers in baseball, and rightfully so.
Seems to be someone who gets the most out of his guys.
How about this? The cement's drying on that statement. I think we find out this year. I know that sounds douchey, especially as a Yankee fan. It's like, Core's a good manager. I want that out there.
He's like been doing the.
If he does it again, the lineup's good. The rotation and the bullpen. Like, if we took off Red Sox blinder, let's say, I'm going to try to do this. What's a team I can be completely neutral or even like? How about Milwaukee? The Milwaukee Brewers like us. Their pitching has their own magic going on, but let me get here.
They're a gross team, but.
Evaldi, Pivetta, Houck, Waka, Hill. You can talk me into Houck. Young pitcher, gross. Pivetta, if he didn't have last year's playoffs,
What would we be saying?
where he was in, and this is probably the thing I respect the most about confidence, the way he treats playoff pitching. If Pivetta was on, he was going to let him go 4 innings. If Pivetta didn't have it, he would have pulled him at .2. There's not a lot of managers that do that with starting pitchers or any pitchers in the playoffs. So compliments of Cora there. But I mean, this starting rotation on paper, Evaldi deserves the respect of
like at some point we have to like fully admit he's good.
He's good. He's good. This goes back to my Wake and Jake a couple episodes ago where it's, every team needs a pitcher. I think the Red Sox need a pitcher. Evaldi, when you compare him to ones across the league, he lands in a fine spot. A fine spot. Nate Evaldi's pretty good. Hill, Waka, Pivetta. I can't promise you too much from that crew.
Yeah, and once again, we're at a point where it's, Sale's coming back. I know he just got 60 days, so it's not till June, but.
But, I mean, June.
Yeah. You can, a lot of season.
Circle June and say, what if we, BBD, I don't know if there's somewhere we can actually remember this, but June 1, we should do like what did we think we knew in April that was totally wrong? Like June 1, Chris Sale coming back for the Red Sox. Are they in first or are they in fourth? Is Sale coming back? Is he not? Like, talk about variance of baseball.
Added.
And then, I don't know, man. I guess this is something that I need to be... I almost can't remove bias because bullpen feel is such in a moment of a game where Matt Barnes has never scared me. I'm sorry. Ryan Brazier has scared me, but it just drives me nuts, and I want to think he stinks.
It's a different kind of scary.
God. Whitlock had the incredible year last year, but it was a rookie year of the bullpen. Like, that can go one of two ways very easily.
He's got some left-right stuff, if I'm not mistaken.
Could also be better, but, like, I don't know. And Jake Diekman is actually a signing I've really liked for them, but he's a guy that's struggled with walks in his career, and, like, if you fall into one bad stunt with walks, like, you end up falling back in line. So, I don't know, man. If I saw this pitching on another team, I would circle it and say, like, this...
They're going to need another.
I don't know if this is enough.
I don't know that it's enough. But, like, obviously, Twins are kind of at their own end of the spectrum, but they're, like, you compare those two, and they're a lot closer than that team.
Right, like this...
Like, they're potentially, if enough of these guys click, like 2 ads mid-season.
I guess that's what it is. Like, this Red Sox team is on paper. I need to say this before people take it fully out of context. On paper, this Red Sox team feels closer to the Twins than, like, the White Sox. Like,
that's fair.
And that's on paper, and it's the feel of baseball. And the White Sox, again, talent-wise, I think are really on a different level in the AL.
Those are the two ends of the spectrum as far as overall.
But, like, if we're talking about hitting, like, the Twins lineup has a chance to be Red Sox level. I think the Red Sox can be better. Like they're balanced a little bit, but like
Those could go either way.
Buxton, Correa, like if those guys are healthy and out there, it's not insane. And then the pitching, yeah, it's more so a compliment to the White Sox and where their pitching is or was. Their bullpen stuff is scary. But Red Sox magic is also real. And Cora could be Cora could be the best manager in baseball. If he brings this team to the playoffs, I will slam the table and confidently tell you Cora's the best manager in baseball. And there's a good chance he does.
There's enough in here that like we've seen the Yankees play this game and it hasn't gone well, but there's enough in here that it's like, all right, well, I believe in at least 2 of the guys in this group will click. At least 3 of the guys in this group will click, and we'll go add 2 or 3 more.
What's
They have a couple high-end prospects ready to go if they need it. If there's a big move coming.
So let's see. Right now, to make the playoffs, this is to make the playoffs. Yeah, Angels are minus 170, no. Kind of makes sense. People are leaning no. Red Sox are minus 125, yes. Plus 105, no. So that's pretty close to a coin flip for especially
for a team that made the ALCS last year and definitely is better.
When you start doing gambling numbers, like I know this will sound dumb, but like the Yankees and Red Sox always have worse numbers because more people bet on them. Like that's why the Yankees are normally pretty high in the World Series odd. People just like bet the Yankees to win the World Series because they've won the most of them. If that sounds dumb, our society is a little dumb. Just more Yankee fans. Let's see. Who else was I talking about? I mean, Mariners have worse odds to make the playoffs than the Angels. So that kind of ties into what I'm saying. And the Twins are plus 175 to make the playoffs. Not a great number. But I think this ties in okay. Vegas gets it. White Sox are minus 390. So literally, statistically, numbers guy, I think everything I just said was right. I'm a genius. I'm going to back stuff up with Vegas information all the time. I've got stuff. It's true. Jesus, that was a lot of AL. When do we get started? Where are we? How far in are we?
43 in.
Okay.
Kind of in a normal spot, I guess.
I mean, we did all that Masters talk. I guess we didn't talk NL too much because I guess most of that speech was about the Angels. Kind of.
At the end of the day, that's what that was all coming back to.
Your National League variables. The East is a mess. I know we've been saying that the whole way. Both Easts, Mets, could be a really strong team in the playoffs, could be very Metsy.
Feels like we're heading down one of the paths.
Just getting Metsy early. You could get out of it. You can get out of it. It's Metsy early.
This is not the way they want to go into opening day. Let's just be honest.
Atlanta Braves, I'll admit it, I would be shocked if they don't get into the playoffs. They have depth all around, crazy talent. Cunha wasn't there last year.
I love what we stumbled into on their TPP. It's like they have the perfect amount of new blood in there.
Yeah, like they're still hunting. Like
Acuna's
Ronnie.
young and missed the World Series year.
Missed that World Series. Apparently didn't like Freddie.
He was like the MVP frontrunner when he got hurt.
Yeah.
And they weren't good yet.
Marcelo Zuna. Yeah, I mean they are sick both ways. Talent. They probably have the most talent and the most balanced talent. That's a great thing to have in baseball. Mets, they have injury and their lineup defense is a little funky. There's a lot of talent.
Their lineup is good.
It's going to figure itself out. Where does Dom... It feels like it's just been the same questions. Like, where does Dom Smith play? What's J.D. Davis all about? What's McNeil up to? Every time I watch Jeff McNeil, he's either like the best hitter in baseball at the time or like the worst. Like he's this 800 OPS, you just can't get him out on any pitch, or he's doing nothing. I just don't know.
They feel like for as much rollover and change or whatever has happened this offseason, it feels like kind of the same story it always is. They have high-end pitching that you buy into, and the lineup that on paper should be able to get you there.
Right.
And like they got maybe they have more depth at those spots now. They can sustain a couple more injuries and stuff because every team's going to have their injuries and all that, and a run where it feels like everyone's out. They feel equipped to handle that now.
They do.
Where
love
does
Buck.
it land?
I love Buck.
Love Buck.
I think the other problem is Marlins can barely even talk about you just because that division's so brutal, even though you might have the best pitching. I thought that was interesting. Someone said that in the live stream. Like, will the Marlins pitching staff have the best ERA?
Yeah, like best team ERA.
It's like, kind of.
They could.
And then it's one of those weird things like, well, I just thought about how much starting pitching matters, but then you say that.
And there's like enough under the hood, good relievers there too.
And like they did sign guys. Like
sign guys, it's like
how about
a
this?
Full lineup.
The Marlins can be a part of the chaos this year.
There's a world.
It would take a lot.
Probably takes the two teams that we think are going to be in the mix in that division.
It would have to be
falling apart.
I think they're a great comparison for the San Francisco Giants. Like, a lot went right for the Giants last year. Almost everything. Hitting and pitching. Like, the Marlins would need almost that level. And that's just a lot. Sometimes it happens. But the thing that's throwing in a wrench where I said I was barely going to talk about the Marlins, dude, the Philadelphia Phillies. I'm starting to drink that Kool-Aid. Like, I guess here's my thing. If Bryson Stott or Mickey Moniak were getting opportunities on other teams, if Bryson Stott or Mickey Moniak were on the Mariners, I talked about Kelenic and J-Rod. J-Rod those are bigger prospects. Stott was up to 35 this year. What is he going to be? Is he a contributing good rookie? Mickey Moniak was going nuts this spring. Former 1-1 pick. Did something go off in his head? I would say this for any other team, right? How about if one of those guys clicks this year? Because then your lineup is Schwarber, Realmuto, Harper, Castellanos, Hoskins, Gene Segura. Didi can't be worse than last year. Don't know what he is. I won't even put him as a finger. But he can be solid. And then you get a Moniak or a Stott, a former 1-1 pick. Or like the new guy getting the chance at third. Or Alec Boehm snaps out of whatever the hell he had last year.
He's a guy who looked like the future.
Their lineup is filthy. And then you get, okay, well, it's the Phillies. Nola, Wheeler, Gibson, Suarez. That four goes with anyone in baseball. I mean, Suarez circles something that feels like a variable, but that four goes with anyone in baseball. And they added Knievel, Familia, Hand to the bullpen. I'm not betting my life on those guys. I'd bet my life on that one of them will be good.
Nobody's surprised if any one of them becomes a great reliever again.
Brad Hand's done it for a while. Knievel's nasty.
It's really good. I mean, even if Didi's bad again, like Stott's good. He's supposed to be the shortstop.
He's supposed
anyway.
to be a shortstop. Like
Stott, Boehm,
you can
Moniak, Veerling. Two of you figure it out.
You can give Didi a chance. If it's not there, you can punt on that pretty quickly. Like they
kind
almost
of all over.
The rumor was they were going to punt this offseason, but now thinking about it, it's almost if you get something good, if you don't, deuce. This Phillies roster is insane. Defense deserves to be mentioned, and it could be this team's Achilles heel. We'll find out, but I'm really liking the Phillies. And if they get in the playoffs, I mean, watch out. Is that a team you'd want to play? You want to get through Schwarber, Castellanos, Harper, Hoskins, Segura, and go Wheeler, Nola, Suarez? No, you don't. You just don't. But again, we haven't seen this Phillies team do it. They've got the longest playoff missed dry streak in the NL.
It's hard to
them and
play
the
your flag
Mariners
with them.
should date. Hot. Watch it. If other teams, and I think Jimmy brought this up on a Talking Baseball, and it's if this Phillies team, this might be fucked up. If this Phillies team was the Yankees roster, would we have higher expectations for the Yankees this year? It gets tricky.
Probably.
Bullpen gets
they're
tricky.
relying on some rookies you need at least one rookie to fully be.
The Yankees kind of never rely on rookies, and the Yankees always have a good bullpen. That's the chicken dance we're doing.
To the Phillies' credit, the bullpen is more addressed going into a season than they've had it addressed in a long time. But
the Yankees have Aaron Judge. One of Harper, Castellanos, Schwarbo is going to be around Aaron Judge's season this year.
I'll go ahead and assume it's Harper.
Yeah, I mean, Harper for Judge would be the punch for punch. I do think Judge is a little better at this point, defensively, all around. But
yeah, Harper's on the big deal.
Either way, yeah, that's an eye for an eye.
People will be mad if we do that.
Castellanos, Stanton?
I'm willing to do that.
Pretty much an eye for an eye. Gallo, Schwarber? Is that your comp? Kind of an eye for an eye.
You can have your personal favorites among those, but I think that's a conversation.
Rizzo, Hoskins? They're in the same pot.
I think they're the same. You can promise this number.
What the hell do you do with Real Muto? Is that the Yankees catcher plus Donaldson? That's a semi-fair swap.
Yeah,
arguably the best catcher in baseball for a catcher and a good third baseman. I don't know. Starts getting weird. DJ and Segura? You hope DJ's better? I don't know. And then Nola, Wheeler, Suarez, Cole, Sevy, Monty, Tyone, Gibson.
I'd give the Yankees points on Cole, but
the
others I think are all that tick up.
So I guess
in the overall bullpen.
How far off are the Phillies and the Yankees? I don't know. And I don't know if that's good news for the Phillies, bad news for the Yankees.
They're both in incredibly competitive divisions.
I guess you could spin that a couple different ways.
If the Mariners and Phillies, it doesn't work out, Yankees should date the Phillies should date the Yankees.
How about that? In the Central, I guess NL Central, I think it's Brewers, Cards. We'll see if the Cubs have some magic, like Seiya. They did change up their pitching staff, and that's another team like the Red Sox. If that city gets baseball juice, it's good, but
if it clicks.
Their talent's on a different level. Pittsburgh can't really click unless Cole Tucker, if they clone Cole Tucker, you get 9 of them.
There's, I guess,
sex all over the field.
I don't want to say element of house money with the Cubs, but it's with their lineup particularly, it's a see what
there's a ton of weird shit in the cut.
And seeing what they got might result in the playoffs.
I texted Ian Happ one day, and I was like, the Cubs have one of the funkiest rosters I've ever seen. And he's just like, Yeah, but it might come together.
Like they're a
like-
team that's like there's a world.
I could do a whole episode. I could do 2 hours on Schwindel, Ortega, Wisdom. Who the hell are those guys? And they all had OPSs in like the 800s last year. Like Ortega's numbers among center fielder, it's weird. I can't even talk about it.
And nobody's surprised if they aren't that.
Right.
But also like they just did it for pretty solid samples last year.
Their numbers last year, if you took away their age and their names, you're like, wow. Holy
Players.
shit.
There's like I think if you wanted to believe in this Cubs roster, you can talk yourself into that. You probably need to have like a twist on it where it's like, I just don't think that Brewers offense ever fully clicks.
You need
some other twist.
The
to
Brewers
it,
or Cardinals to eat shit, which is really tough to picture. Both of those are really good franchises. That's where I don't think
they tend to be.
I don't think there can be. Well, Cubs
Expanded stuff.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Rockies,
too long ago.
so obnoxious. You can never believe in them. Reds, they kind of dipped. They've got a ton of young
Reds
players
bowed
going
out.
this year.
The Pirates are the Pirates.
No, don't look at the
Well, I'm
Reds.
just talking about their division.
Don't look at the Reds. And then on the left coast, Dodgers. I really think the story is just are the Padres real? And I'm starting to believe they are. They called up C.J. Abrams, their top prospect. He's going to be on the opening day roster. Like, I guess that's
Exciting.
again when I say I got to believe in something. I've ranted and raved how much I like the Padres pitching, and I think it's just commitment to going all in. It's why I've been mad at the Guardians. They were okay signing J-Ram or trading him. It didn't affect how they were going to operate. Makes me mad. C.J. Abrams, number 15 prospect. Might be the starting shortstop for them with Nando out. Is he a Tatis? Hell, is he Cronenworth? Is he Kelnick? Is he a lot of rookies that come up and struggle? I don't know. I'm excited to find out. Thanks for letting me rant and rave about it. I have been, our guy Rusty Rages, longtime JOMBOY guy, is in the chat right now. I have been getting Ian Happ pretty good with, I think I've used it 3 times now. Ian Happ's new teammate, Nick Madrigal. I have said a couple times, Ian, is it starting to get weird that you've never seen me and Nick Madrigal in the same room? The 3rd time really got him. He couldn't believe I went back to it.
That's good.
And then he's like, I saw those blitzball stats. I don't know.
I just found out C.J. Abrams bats lefty, and that does something for me.
You like that?
I'm a sucker for left-handedness.
Lefty catchers or shortstops? Like a left.
Like just left-handedness. Maybe it's the just growing up watching the Yankees thing.
It is.
That's got to be like
It's Tino.
80% of it.
It's called the Tino effect.
It's like I am a sucker for a lefty swing.
When you can watch Tino look like he did on the Yankees field, you wonder why other people don't do that. It's just the perfect swing. Just
Try to
look.
flick that thing.
Every home run looks like it's going into the upper deck. What's more of this?
Yankees really abandoned having lefties.
Yeah, so of course they found their own solution. Let's get righties that can hit it the other way. That's how we'll get more value.
And hey, it's nice.
You know, what about the lefties that pull it? Like Didi.
Like naturally.
Anyways, guys, baseball season's here. Maybe in the comments, let me know who your dark horse is. Who did I poo-poo that I should have believed in? I don't believe in the Giants, which really hurts me. I wish I did. I don't. My Diamondbacks obviously have a chance. I don't know. What in the comments?
Yeah, you're like dark horse. And if you want to be a real sourpuss,
Like, if you
the
really
team
want to
you
talk
don't
me into
believe
the
in,
Texas Rangers, I'll listen. Because Taylor Hearn's there.
they feel willing to maneuver.
Guys, let's start wrapping it up. Bakers, you guys are the best. We talked some Masters last episode. Final Four. How about that? That game was pretty good. Holy smokes. I guess we record on Mondays. This week's been nuts. My brain is smoked. I guess that should be like a bro of the night.
Like I got home last night and I was like, and the Wordle video went out and I was like, that was today.
BBD, not to one up you, not to have the worst day of your job. I get home yesterday. I hadn't had dinner, so I ate dinner in the streets of New York, videotaped it. I'm losing my mind.
Noticed that.
Got home 10:30, stopped at CVS, bought some pepperoni for Noodle's birthday and a candle for Jess because it was next to the pepperoni. Jess likes candles, so I did that. Walk into the apartment, pet Noodle. Ask Jess how her day is, tell her about my day. Jess is like, I'm going to go to bed. I was still like wired kind of. So I was like, I might turn on the TV, maybe draft a Diamond Dynasty team. I opened my phone and I was appalled to see that in the same day, I had done Well Dressed Wednesday. I had put on a full suit that day. Totally forgot.
It's like how you spent your 8 a.m.
Like, it felt no less than a week. We're doing too much. Baseball's on its way.
Tuesday also got me. There's something we did Tuesday morning.
We've just been here late each night, and it's been adding up. So, Bakers, with all of that, I asked you guys to bake the algorithm of Wake and Jake. We're at 5.9 subs. Look at that. Let's get to 6K subs on the
It's opening
YouTube.
day.
Yeah, that's pretty
Do
good.
it.
That's pretty awesome. Ricky Music, J-Rod is already the greatest Seattle Rod, and the man hasn't even had an official AB yet. Yeah. I think that, I'm an A-Rod guy.
Excited.
Someone else commented this, but James got on the boat calling my goatee a no-tee. That cracks me up. It's kind of as mean as an instant bully, calling a goatee a no-tee. But they said they really love me. Drake Souza has his prediction. It's documented. Braves over Blue Jays in 7s. Ooh. The Mats from Oakland meet up in the World Series. Chapman Olsen World Series. I love that. Oh, that's perfect. That's sports. Oh, Drake Souza, you just made my day. And then Matthew Nauer said, love seeing all the young guys getting called up right away without service time. Yeah, me too.
That was before we got the Abrams one, too.
Like, did the owners just
imagine.
give up on that? Did the financial equation change? Like, I don't really get it.
Like, which ones do we got? We have the Tigers kids.
Yeah.
Bobby Witt.
Torkelson, Witt, Abrams. There's another big one in the AL. I mean, are the Rays calling up, like, the guys they traded away for Meadows?
The Rays, like, kind of don't care about
Josh
that, though.
Lowe. I
'Cause
mean,
they're
he's
like-
not one of the
'cause
big
they're
ones.
like, when you get to 3 years, we're dumping.
There was another big one. But, yeah, like, they...
There's someone else.
Yeah.
J-Rod.
J-Rod. So, yeah, I mean, it's awesome for baseball because have the best players play, especially the best young players. Tough one. So, guys, if you could subscribe or have someone go on the YouTube and subscribe, 5-9 subs, thank you. Hit the like button, share with a friend. It's opening day. It's baseball. Get jazzed up. Tell them this guy goes on a weird rant about the Angels but doesn't talk about the Angels for 30 minutes. Can't believe I'm in bed with the Angels now.
Well, now Bundy's out of there, so you can.
God. Not thinking about that. Hey, my bro of the night. We give out a bro of the night. It's a award to someone in sports that deserves to be talked about, basically. Bill Self, I guess. I can't, again, shocked that it was this week. The biggest second half comeback of all time. I have started to laugh at that. It kind of ties into Robbie Ray. That's very impressive. They came back from 16 down, I think, to win the national title. That's nuts. That's insane. Sports have, as they've gotten more analytic and more, also the rules of sports have become more offense driven because people like offense, people like points. Look at the NFL. Look at basketball. So when you hear something like that, it's like, well, yeah. I mean, now that there's more scoring, that kind of allows you to have a bigger comeback. That's kind of how the math works in my head. I know it's not perfect. Bill Self, I don't know. Me and some of my buddies are making jokes. I said it on here. Like, does he have, is he cool? Is he well liked? I mentioned that motivational line he had, like the most disrespected one seed of all time. Dude's an all-time coach. I think it almost, he's the Yuli Gurriel of college coaches. How many coaches do you name before you go to Bill Self? You'd be like Coach K. You'd probably say, I mean, you go like Calipari. You could go Boeheim. You go Jim Calhoun. If we're doing
Jay Wright's in there now.
Jay Wright. If you're doing all time, like, you know, you'd obviously get into some Woodens and stuff like that. I guess we're not doing all time. We're talking in a short period. I don't know. I just think Bill Self, Roy Williams, like you just name a lot of coaches before Bill Self when he's got the resume. Like people would probably say Bob Huggins before Bob Self, and I think Bill Self's resume like blows his out of the water. So, literally the biggest comeback college basketball history. Brutal. I mean, it's also a bruh for UNC. Hubert Davis, the coach, was running so hot, and I mean they had it. They had a natty, and they lost it. So a little bit of a bruh. Again, can't believe that was a couple days ago. Yeah. And I see some Tulsa love in the chat. Former Tulsa coach, Bill Self. Huge. So, yeah, I guess that whole national title game is my bruh. Depending who you are. Beebs?
Well, we talked briefly about Martin Maldonado earlier, and I pulled up his transaction page and didn't get to read it. So he's my bro of the night. Drafted by the Angels in 2004. Minor league free agent signing of the Brewers. Then traded by the Brewers back to the Angels for Jet Bandy. And the rest of the trades are where it gets fun. Angels to Astros for Patrick Sandoval.
Wow.
Back in 2018. And as a free agent signs with the Royals after 2018 with the Astros. Traded Royals to Cubs for Mike Montgomery. That's a name.
Okay.
Traded Cubs back to the Astros for Tony Kemp. Free agent back to Astros.
A lot of guys.
Just got part of a lot of weird for one guy trades.
A weird baseball life. Chirinos. Sandoval. Wow. Okay. Where's he at now?
Astros.
Wait, Chirinos or the other?
Oh, Chirinos is the Orioles catcher right now.
Chirinos is the Orioles. So I'll see him 15 times this year.
Spent the year in Yankees AAA. He ended up on the Cubs briefly last year.
Yeah. He was solid.
Currently, they're starting catcher while they manipulate Adley Rutschman.
Right. And that's where baseball lands. Guys, we got to wrap up. Turned into a long episode. We're excited about baseball. We're streaming. We're live streaming in a little bit. Thank you guys. Excited to be doing some regular baseball updates. We're going to have Masters update. Oh, my goodness. We'll see you Monday. NBA sneaking up on the playoffs. Playoffs. Saw some people talking hockey playoffs in the chat. I'm sorry. There's better sources at this point.
On his right. Hey, hold up. Don't start a
hockey
fight.
guy.
He's got you covered with all the sports.
Nice.
Don't fret. He's wearing shorts. It's
Big
that
JJR.
Wake
Yeah,
and
go
shake
watch
in
everything.
the
Sorry.
morning.
We're doing a lot.
Wake and shake at night.
I did a lot of ads yesterday. You guys are going to like those at some point. Compound. Ian Happy's playing. Man's playing baseball. Talking baseball. Rose rotation. Austin Hedges.